Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 9th of December, comes to you from London. And quite a lot of green on the screen. That's always my first glance of the market in the morning. We're looking at my long-term, my short, medium-term, and my short-term view of the market, weekly, daily, and 60-minute cloud charts with the corresponding point and figure charts. You can set this up on your systems very easily. Looking at the dollar index first off, we're seeing it's just falling away again. We are, of course, long-term bearish, big down week last week, and so the trend lower continues. So dollar weakness is the theme. Euro is higher against that weaker dollar. So euro dollar having a little bit of a setback on the short-term chart, but really breaking, and the long-term picture for the euro is now very bullish. Japanese yen sitting at 104 against the dollar, and sterling sitting at 134. So even though sterling's come under some pressure with the Brexit discussions, we're seeing it recovering against that weaker dollar and nudging that resistance level at around 134. And if we look at sterling against the euro, we're sitting at 110.72. So again, we have actually gained ground over the last few months. So all the news you hear is how the pound is suffering on Brexit, but in fact the reverse is true. Long term, we are still on a downtrend, but short term we're kicking up again. We've got an upside target. Whether we can break the trend is quite key. A lot will depend on announcements today after Johnson's meeting in Brussels. Looking at Bitcoin, we've fallen back quite significantly from that $19,000 level to $18,000. Still an uptrend on the long and medium term charts. The short term chart bearish with downside targets. So just keep an eye on those. The 1 minute charts are great if you're trading Bitcoin. Looking at the S&P 500 index, we were up slightly yesterday. US markets just edging higher. And so equities, no real fears there. The Dow was up as well, holding that $30,000 point level. Looking at the futures this morning, the S&P future up 0.25%, the Nasdaq E-mini up slightly, so it looks like markets will open flat to slightly higher. The VIX volatility little changed at 20.68, so markets not at all fearful at the moment. We see the FTSE future in the UK up 0.4%, the cash market in Germany up 0.86%, and the CAC 40 up 0.33%. So markets generally higher. Japan was higher, up over 1%, looking stronger there, nudging new multi-year highs, so looking very strong indeed. The Hang Seng was up 0.75%. China bucking the trend. The Shanghai Composite was down 1%. Just can't break out of this consolidation range. We see here since July, China has been in a real range. So this is going to be really key when we break higher. Just watching that break out of that range will be really quite key for China, and that's what we need to just watch for, is that break. The Sensex in India pushing higher, up over 1%, looking very strong indeed, and the Aussie market up 0.6%. Gold is actually down this morning, but still short-term bullish. This new target of 1957 to play for, that's some 5% higher, and silver also just holding that $24 mark, which is quite key. Copper was up 0.75%, looking stronger there. The most in-demand base metal in the world, copper, and so it's one that's always worth watching. We've gone from $2,000 to $3,500 this year from the low point, so quite significant. US 10-year yield sitting at 0.94%, so that trend just continuing on the uptrend there as well. Looking at the energy mix now, Brent crude up 1% this morning, still very much in this range. We were neutral this week, and that's playing out at the moment. We'd favoured the upside, but for the moment it's hard to see us breaking this high. We do have a target here to $50.20, so that is the one to watch. But this target has been met on the daily chart, and the 60-minute chart we need to break really to new highs to start pushing higher. The light WTI up 1% as well, range bound also. US nat gas had a bad time last week, is just recovering a little bit this week. just sitting on this 240 support level. Coal was our most bullish call this week. Lots of upside targets to play for, especially on the 1 minute charts. Just keep an eye on those. And if you look at emissions, breaking €30 this morning, and our call has been again bullish on emissions this week, and we do see emissions breaking to new all-time highs, so that's quite significant as well. Gas markets are up this morning. We see MVP holding its trend, TTF also up 1.74%, just holding better on the front month. And on the winter, on the seasonal, we're up 2%, so looking stronger there. German power also looking stronger, up 0.93%, just breaking to new highs. Can't quite break that resistance level on the daily chart, but we are just starting to test it, so it'll be very interesting to see if we can break to new highs. Lots of upside targets says we will, so that's going to be quite key. Keep an eye on that German power price. That's going to be really interesting. Other power markets are up, of course, and we're seeing the Cal in Norway up 5% and the quarterly up 7%, so quite big moves there. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.